Alrighty, guys, this is our last one for today. This will be pretty brief. I just think it's funny and worth mentioning.
Oh, wait, you didn't say it yet.
Oh. So, on Jeopardy recently, they had a category about the New Testament. Was it the Bible in general, or was it the New Testament specifically?
I can't recall.
I think it was the New Testament. And I wanna pull it up here. Yeah, okay, so the question was, which epistle of Paul's, okay, so which of Paul's letters has the most Old Testament quotes? That was the question.
That's a good question.
And there were multiple answers, but the answer that they had as the correct answer was the book of Hebrews. Which we don't actually know who the author of Hebrews was. Yeah, it's like the notorious,
like, we don't know.
Yeah, so honestly,
confirmed.
If I didn't watch the clip at all. I just saw a picture of it on Twitter. But if I was the contestant and I got it wrong because I think the answer would have been Romans. I think that's what I read. But
well, really?
I think so. Although I could be wrong.
Interesting.
But yeah, if I answered it and I got it wrong, like I think I would have challenged that, because I would have been like, hey, it's not 100% certain that Paul wrote Hebrews. So you got to give me some points for that.
Yeah, at least like half credit.
Give me half credit.
Yeah, It's interesting. And it makes you wonder how many of the other Jeopardy questions are they not putting correct answers in for? Or is it just that we're biblically illiterate? That's the only thing.
Well, and actually that's a good point, because about how many other Jeopardy questions are wrong, because like to me that was always like a trivia fact about the Bible. Like, who's the author of Hebrews? Well, we don't really know. Some people think Paul, but we don't really know. Like, that's always been like a basic Bible trivia fact for me. Fun fact. And for Jeopardy to get it wrong, like, that makes you wonder, right? Like, how many other Jeopardy questions are wrong?
Wow.
So my final kind of just little just throw in this little question here as we wrap up. Who do you think wrote Hebrews?
I think Paul wrote Hebrews.
Yeah.
So you think Jeopardy's right?
Well, we can't say. I mean, right now
Jeopardy's not wrong or right.
But you're in the Paul camp.
Yeah, I think that Paul is the traditional take on that.
Why do you think Paul wrote Hebrews? Just because it's the traditional take?
Because of tradition, and it's not something I've studied extensively.
Yeah, Mac, I'm assuming it's probably not something you've gone like super deep in either.
I haven't. But I mean, like reading them, the writing style seems similar.
I see a lot of scholars would disagree with you.
Really?
Yeah, they would say that's one of the very reasons that
just from a layman
they don't think it was Paul. But it could have been. I don't
have to read it more thoroughly again. Do a side by side.
But to me, I think that like Paul's a good bet, because I mean, going back to the Old Testament allusions, Paul was a Pharisee. He was Jewish. He knew the Bible inside and out. And so, if anybody was going to write a letter to the Hebrews, it was going to be Paul.
True.
But again, going back to I think it was Paul, but we have no evidence.
But who do they think wrote it if it wasn't Paul?
Yeah, I'm sure scholars have their other theories.
There are a couple of theories. I honestly, one of the things for me is it makes sense that especially early Christian tradition held to the view that it was probably Paul, because to me it seems odd that it would even make it into biblical canon. I mean, that was such a work of. I mean, that was like a very laborious process of trying to figure out okay, what is going to be the New Testament canon. That they would put something in there that they didn't know for certain who the author was. Because isn't one of the criteria for canon that it was an apostle, the author?
I think that was a big deal. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's official criteria. The canon didn't just come out of thin air and was decided at the Council of Nicaea. Like by the time we get to Council of Nicaea, it had already basically been decided.
Yeah.
It just evolved over the years to where it got to in Nicaea.
And that's what I'm saying is like I just feel like with all of the conversations and things that went into that, like I highly doubt that people who were like, oh, we don't know who the author is would have been like, but maybe just because of the content of it. I mean, it is. I think it's certainly one of the most significant New Testament books when it comes to understanding how the Old Testament and the Old Covenant relate to the gospel.
Yeah, I think Hebrews is a very important New Testament book.
Top tier.
So I wonder. So my guess, though, if the question was not out of all of Paul's letters, but out of all New Testament books.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just. Why wasn't it just out of all of the New Testament books?
I don't
which
know.
One has the most?
I don't know the answer, but my guess is Revelation.
Yeah, probably.
Ooh.
Probably.
Good trivia. Take notes, Jeopardy.
All right. Well,
Call our people will call your people.
that was fun. That was some Theology Thursday or Everyday Theology trivia time.
Yeah, yeet.